Finger here with more Kingdom Hearts today. I'm going to begin by doing some item synthesis and then we're going to do some more optional bosses. So please sit back, enjoy the episode, and don't forget to hit the like button and be subscribed to the FuzzfingerGaming YouTube channel. Let's get on. So we're actually going to start by completing the 5th set of item synthesis today. The exciting thing is, once we've done this set, there's only 2 more items for us to craft, and then we'll be able to craft the ultimate weapon, which I'm very much looking forward to. So these are the 6 items we're going to be making today. We also need to complete the Atlas Crown and the Crystal Crown from before. So I'll go ahead and get that done. I did talk about these in the previous episode. And then we've got these 6 items to craft. So we'll go for the experience bracelet first, just in case I've messed up on any of the other materials here, but we should be able to craft all of this. So let's just talk about how to get these items. What I might do, I should point out as well, is create some episodes solely dedicated to how to farm some of these items, because some of them could be a real pain, to be honest, and really time consuming. But that's going to take a lot of work on my side of things to actually do dedicated videos to all of the items that can be synthesized here. And, you know, I'll need to actually know that people will want to watch that if that's going to help them before I go ahead and put in the time investments that's going to be required for me to do that. But a brief overview of where you're going to be able to get these items, so at least you know what you're doing. The energy stones, these are located from Hollow Bastion. And you're going to need 6 in total, even though you only need 1 for this item. But in the next set of synthesis, you'll need 5 more, which is why I've just collected all 6 together. Now, this is what you need to do. You need to fly to the Hollow Bastion. You need to land in the library. That's where you park the gummy ship. I know it's a strange location, isn't it? But it's just the save point. Then you head down to the bottom floor of the library and out into the main entrance hall. When you're in the main entrance hall, head down to the fountain at the bottom in the middle, and you'll get an enemy spawn. Now that enemy spawn will contain either 1 or 2 of the fat bandit creatures. If it's 2, just head out of the main entrance, because the enemy you need will not spawn. Then head back in and keep resetting that enemy encounter until you just see 1 fat bandit. Once you see 1 fat bandit, there'll be an enemy which you can't see that has spawned, known as the stealth soldier. It'll be invisible, but you can target it. That's the enemy you need to kill for a chance at collecting the energy stone. And if it spawns, you'll also get another one spawn with the group of enemies just up near the exit to that level on the upper level. And if you go on the moving platforms to the balconies above from that particular entrance hall area, then you'll get a chance of another one of those spawning, but only again if you get that 1 fat bandit instead of 2 near the fountain. Once you've killed those enemies, head back to the save point in the library, save, reload, and then keep repeating that over and over until you have your 6 energy stones. I recommend just getting them all until you are sorted. Dazzling stones, again, you're going to need 6, even though you only need 1 for this item. And you want to get those by heading to Neverland, park in the cabin, make your way over to the deck, and if you don't get the normal enemies, you might get the mushrooms. If you don't get the mushrooms, you might get the jet balloon spawn, which kind of whizzes around the outside of the decks. Now, to do this, you're going to want to keep spamming stop on it, because it moves all over the place. It's a bit of a nightmare. Keep stop on it, keep your other party members hitting it until it dies. Make sure you have treasure magnet on every character as well, otherwise you're going to lose those dazzling stones into the sea, which are really annoying. Again, if you need to reset because you've killed it, then just head back to the save point, rinse and repeat. Next up we have the Stormy Stone. As you can see, I've collected 4 of those instead of 1. And these are collected from the end of the world. So head back to the final rest area, which you should have unlocked by this point. And then just go back to the very previous room from that save point. And you'll get either the mushroom spawn. You can ignore those, don't need them. Well, you might do, but I mean, we don't need them for this item. Or you might get normal enemies. That's good, because you need normal enemies to drop Gale, and that'll be the Invisibles and the Angel Stars. They can all drop Gales. You need 5, at least, from this point. But if they don't spawn, then you'll get the Neo Shadow spawn. They look like normal Shadow Heartless with a little bit of a different design, and they can drop the Stormy Stones. You need 4 of them, and they are a bit of a pain, those enemies, and the Stormy Stone will only drop once you've killed all of them that have spawned. So keep Agrabah up, kill them all, get your Stormy Stone, head back to the save point, save, reload so they can spawn again, and rinse and repeat. And then Orichalcum, if you need any of that because you didn't get enough from treasure chests, you can just buy it from the item shop here in Traverse Town. And then Dark Matter, well, obviously Dark Matter is something that we've been collecting from the treasure chests as well, but we can also synthesize it now as well, so that's exciting. Let's go ahead and do that actually. We'll synthesize our first item here from this next set. Right then, so most of these shards you're going to get because the enemies have been dropping them for quite a while. Power shards, which I don't have a lot of, just dropped from the monkeys in the deep jungle. Power gems, on the other hand, they're a little bit trickier to get, but you can just get them from the normal pirates, the air pirates and the battleships around Neverland, and that's pretty much it for that. Lucid stuff, what have we got? We've got the Gales, which we spoke about already. They come from the Angel Stars and the Invisibles in the room next to the final rest area of End of the World. Lucid Gem, you can get those from Halloween Town, the normal enemies, the gargoyles, drop those. The Lucid Crystals, we only actually got 3, should be enough. Anyway, the Dark Balls drop them, but they are quite rare unfortunately, although there are plenty of Dark Ball enemies around, which is interesting. Go ahead and synthesize this. And what have we got next? We've got the shards again are fairly common. I've already explained all this one, haven't I? Don't need to do that again then. Okay, so let me do the experience bracelet before I run out of stuff. I'll go and craft that now since I've explained where to get everything. The Cosmic Art, which is a nice bracelet to equip, by the way, on what's his face, on Sora if need be. As for the items that you need, bright shards just come from the red Nocturnes, or Nocturnes, sorry, you can get those in Monstro. The Blaze Gems, best bet to get those is from Agrabah. The Bandits and the Fat Bandits drop them quite regularly. The bright crystals, need 4 of those. They drop from Defenders. Those are the bluish enemies that kind of look like the Sphinx, but their head is actually a shield that they're holding. Mithril Stone, not really a fun one, but you get those from killing the Pot Scorpion in Agrabah. Remember, it's a rare spawn with all the pots that spawn. Make sure you hit the pot that doesn't move last, because that also has a chance then of spawning a Mithril Stone, so you can get 2 from that encounter. But we'll go ahead and craft that. And then finally the ribbon here, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, Blaze Gems, as we said, Bandits and Fat Bandits in Agrabah. Frost Gems, you can get those from the Atlantica zone. And they're the kind of large jellyfish creatures. Best thing to do is follow the Trident all the way to the palace and to the throne of King Trident, where you can save. And then the area just before that, which I think is called Triton's Palace, from the position of that save point in his throne. The area just before that is the palace. As soon as you go into that, 2 of those enemies will spawn. Hit them with thunder a couple of times to wipe them out. Hopefully loot some frost gems. Then just head back to the save point to heal up your MP. Rinse and repeat on that. Thunder gems. Bit of an annoying item in all honesty, but in the same place in Atlantica, you'll find the enemies known as the aqua tanks. They look a bit like the jet balloon from Neverland, and they'll have 3 enemies known as screw divers underneath them, like a giant balloon with 3 enemies underneath. And basically all of those enemies have a chance of dropping the thunder gem. Gale, we've talked about. Serenity Power is the worst. Check the previous episode, or the one before, can't remember which one, where I'll show you how to collect that. That's from the pink mushroom, the giant pink mushroom that spawns in Atlantica and Deep Jungle. Definitely recommend the Deep Jungle version. Hit it as many times as you can when it's been stopped. If you hit it 40 times or more in that period, then you get a chance of the Serenity Power drop. So we'll go ahead and craft that. And we'll get a trophy for that particular synthesis. And now if we just head down here, we can see the final 3 have become available. And that's the Fantasista, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I need a couple of items to craft that. the 7 elements, a shield for Goofy, that's a weapon for Donald, and then finally, once we've crafted these 2 items, we can go ahead and craft the ultimate weapon for Sora. So we are nearly there now. But that's it in terms of synthesis for today. Let's get on with some more of these optional bosses. Make sure you get into the gummy ship and head over to Aladdin's house, where you can see Carpet is doing this very exciting dance there. Make sure before we speak to Carpet that you go to Customize and give Sora Airagar and Curagar and either Thundergar or Blizzardgar. On the boss that we're going to be fighting, Blizzardgar is actually the much stronger attack, but when we're going to be using it, the boss will be moving around. So personally, I prefer to use Thundergar because it's easier to attack the boss with it. But if you're really skillful with Blizzardgar, I think you can hit a moving target with it, then by all means go ahead and use that instead. It will do more damage, should it in fact go off. You'll want to be around level 75 in order to take this next boss on. So we're going to go ahead and say hello to Carpet here. And he will take us to the next boss directly. This is Kurt Zisa. And the first thing we need to do, the second this fight starts, is get Airagar up because he likes the silence. And not having that Airagar up is going to obviously cause problems. But then we need to attack the orbs. As you can see, he has orbs around his hands. And the first stage of this 3-stage boss fight is to take out these orbs. While of course staying on top of healing as well. So he does like to move his hands all over the place, which I guess can be a little bit annoying. That one's obviously defeated now. Which means we need to concentrate on the final one. I'm really struggling actually to get into position here to attack because he keeps moving. So far he's not putting out a whole lot of damage, he says, as Donald goes down. Right, now in this phase we need to again keep Airagar up, and he'll use his head to attack. He can stretch his neck out a little bit like a snake, I suppose, but he doesn't actually do a whole lot of damage. The third phase is going to be really where it's at, and in the third phase he's going to put this shield on, and this is where we need to start hitting him with magic. So again, if you've got Blizzard spell, you might want to hit him with it. It does nice damage. Otherwise, keep hitting him with AoE thunder spells in order to get rid of his shield. You cannot hit him with physical attacks. Well, I mean, you can hit him, you just won't do any damage to him. So it seems rather pointless then, doesn't it? So Thunder Spell, as you can see, works absolutely fine in my opinion anyway. Donald wasting his MP on a pointless gravity spell. Let's just go and throw an ether on here as we once again recast wind and continue to deplete this guy's health until he once again puts up his shield. And he's down to his final health bar, so shouldn't take much longer to beat him now. Oh, he's not doing his shield this time. Just make sure you keep that Airagar up, because as you can see, this whirlwind is pretty evil. So we'll just continue on with the pummel action here as we try and get him back into that phase where we actually do nice damage to him. So we've got this silence on us at the minute. Thought we managed to avoid that, unfortunately not. I guess we didn't quite get Airagar up in time. It's a bit annoying having Donald and Goofy down. It's got a bit of lag there. I need to pause for a second. Get that elixir going. Come on. We can still use finishing moves even when we're silenced, which is good. So we're nearly in this second phase. If I can kill him in this second phase, then we should be laughing and good to go, really. There we go, we've done it. I think if we'd have been pushed into the third phase again, we would have struggled, because the only way we could have actually taken his shield down when silenced is by deflecting his fire spells back at him, which is a really tricky thing to do, especially with no Agrabah up. So fortunately Ragnarok was able to do the job for us there. Just make sure when he switches phases you get Agrabah up as quickly as possible to avoid that silence. Otherwise, as you can see, it just makes things a whole lot trickier than they need to be. It's a bit touch and go in that battle at times. I thought to myself that we're going to have to be redoing this one, but fortunately not. We got that first time. We get the Zanatsuken and Ansem's Report 11, along with another trophy, the Sandy Blade, for our efforts. So just heal up nicely here, and we'll move on. On second thoughts, folks, I'm going to finish off the episode here today, because there's a bit more preparation for us to do so that we can take on the next optional bosses that are available to us. It's something that I want to do again before we head over to the final story bosses, and there's a reason for that which I'll explain when we get there. But for now, I just want to carry on with this optional stuff. So please do come back and join me in the next episode where we'll do just that. If you've enjoyed today's episode, let me know in the comments section, and come back soon for more Kingdom Hearts.